Hey guys, Rob here from McDonough Coaching. So today is just a kind of practical application to forming new habits, whether it's exercise, nutrition, or anything else you might be trying to achieve in your life. Um, so if we start with time and location, um, you're more, and again, all evidence-based work. So evidence to shows that if you say to yourself, I'm going to say, for example, exercise at this time in this place, um, you're more likely going to achieve it. Um, so for people, either exercising first thing in the morning, uh, before you go to work, um, or exercising the minute you get home, not sitting on the couch, not turning on the TV, not looking at your phone. For me, if I don't get a training session done at work, I will do it the minute I get home. Um, I'm a bit more flexible in that scenario. Um, so let's go on to habit stacking next. So again, I talked about this in the previous video. So you've done a list maybe of your day-to-day activities that you do. So for example, for me, I'll drink a glass of water before or after I brush my teeth. So brushing my teeth is a habit I do every day, and now I just drink a glass of water every time. And I have an empty glass by my sink in my bathroom. So I've got that visual cue to drink the water, and it's a nice, easy one. And you're going to be the most dehydrated first thing in the morning after you've been to the bathroom, because obviously you haven't been drinking all night. You might have so once you write down all the activities that you've done that day, you might be able to add another one. So every time I turn on the television, I pick up my guitar and I work on my strumming and chords and things like that, even though while I'm watching television. So I'm stacking two habits there. So if you look at nutritional habits, you might do it every time I have my coffee. I'll take my B12 and vitamin D supplement in the morning, which are important if you're on a more plant-based diet. And you might have your supplements out on the kitchen table, where you can see them. So then you'll have your visual cue, or your supplements might be right beside your coffee that you keep on the kitchen in the press or on the kitchen table, ideally where it's visible. So every time you go to make your coffee, you've got that visual cue of taking your supplements. So then if we look at types of cues in general, so like I said, you want to make your good cues or new habits that you're trying to form obvious. So making them visual, easy. So for example, when it comes to exercise, like I said, you're doing it in the same time and place. Ideally, you might do your exercise the first thing in the morning, after you've had your breakfast, maybe for some people, or just before you have your breakfast. So that's stacking one cue on the other. Say if you do use a yoga mat or something, that your yoga mat is visible in the same location. So that's environment, which we'll get to in a moment. You're making it obvious because or visible. You're making it easy is another thing. So you might do a 5-minute session in the morning of, say, yoga and stretches to get you going through the day. And then bad habits, so you're making them invisible. So if you're trying to look at your nutrition, sorry, camera's going down there. Looking at your nutrition, obviously, if you've got chocolate in the house, it's going to be eaten. If you've got crisps or any of those kind of things, they're going to be eaten. So you need to make them invisible, ideally. And then environment then, so you can set out a place in your house where you're going to do your exercises. So it might be just a part of the room, or maybe you have a room that you can do your exercise just as you would for exercise or reading. Maybe you have a chair that you want to read in, and again that will be again a more of a visual cue, and you'll associate that area then with exercise. Anytime you're near that area, you'll have that area. So I don't have a big house, so part of my bedroom is I've a chair that I like to read in. I've got an area where I do my exercise. I got my pull-up bar, which is always hanging on my door frame. So again, I have that visual cue to, okay, I need to do exercises. I've got my different equipment that I use to train with, or visual, my weighted vest and things like that. And then if we talk about willpower, so again, you've got people who seem to have great willpower in trying to break bad habits. It's more because they've made them invisible. That guy who's trying not to drink or to smoke or to try not to eat fatty foods, he's avoiding those environments. So he's avoiding the pub, he's avoiding the takeaways, or being around people who maybe do drink or smoke or eat lots of takeaways. So avoiding, again, making that environment invisible. Or if you did have, biscuits in your house, you're not going to put them on your kitchen counter. You're going to put them at the back of the press where you can't see them. And then there is studies that show that people kind of have a certain amount of willpower, but you can increase your willpower, which we'll come to in another video, which every time you reduce every time you succeed in not doing a bad habit or doing a good habit, you will increase your willpower, and that will come bit by bit. Okay, thanks, and like, share, comment. All right, bye.